Hello everybody, long time no chat. Today I have a MEGA GARGANT, one of, unfortunately, the most expensive single model kits Games Workshop makes right now, and I think the most expensive non-vehicle single model kit they make, with maybe like Baneblade, Monolith, and that, jeez, this thing's tough to get out. Big old corn dude being up on a list of crazy expensive, but this guy is crazy awesome looking. There's so many ways to build him. I still haven't quite decided on which one. Just gonna flip through. The detail looks fantastic. I mean, he's got creases in the skin. So many little bits and bobs, just a cool little raven piece, crow, bell. I'm very excited to see all the bits in this. It's just looks nice. There's the Kraken Eater. Oh, what do we have here? The War Stomper, the Gatebreaker, and I think the Bone Grinder. It looks like Kraken Eater are the only rules included. What am I doing? I can't toss this. The only rules included in here. Let's see, follow step 1 for all variants, so we'll go through that. Here we go. Kraken Eater, War Stomper, and Gatebreaker. Oh man. I gotta decide which one I want to build right now. They all look really cool. I'm leaning towards the Gatebreaker or the Kraken Eater. Oh man, that's a really cool bit. I'm really curious if that's one that's been recycled from past giant kits. And I have the old one somewhere. I'm not going to go digging for it right now. But Kraken Eater sounds just awesome. Oh. Dang, that's a tough call. But this dude just looks really cool. Let's take a look at these bits. Whoa, stuck. I don't want to pull too hard because I don't know the strength of everything. It looks like... Oh man, could we have gotten a miscast here? I don't know. It's definitely already kind of popped off where it was clipped. But these are huge pieces. Wow. This is awesome. This is just so awesome. Wow. It just keeps going. You know, I think I'm going to do the Gatebreaker. The Gatebreaker is my favorite looking. And this base is huge. I think this is 100mm, and this is what the really big Custodes Telemon Dreadnought's on. So this is 140 maybe? Pretty sure all Age of Sigmar stuff has the base size and shown somewhere for scale. Maybe that's only in kits that come with multiple bases. 130. Boom. It's big as heck. Yeah, this guy looks awesome. He's getting built. We're gonna break some gates with him. I gotta find a spot to put this. It's been a while. Obviously, things have happened throughout the world. More things have happened in America. And I'm in Texas, where everything has been kind of terrible. So here we go. That's been fun, and why I haven't been doing any build videos lately. Just kind of, you know, stress. Won't talk about that because I am here to build a MEGA GARGANT Gatebreaker. So the Gatebreakers are supposed to be some bitter giants who have an obsession with destroying strongholds. And this kind of makes me think of, as I usually do, 40k, because it's my main game and my love, the Iron Hands, Siege Breakers. They're bitter. They hate fortresses. But the cool thing about these guys is they use the wreckage as armor. So that is so awesome. And I like the kind of executioner's hood. There's a big old belly. Let's see if I can, now that I've got a sprue out, adjust the camera a bit. There we go. The bottom of my keyboard a little bit in there. Okay. All right, let's see if I can start clipping. Yeah, another piece where just kind of ran out of plastic in there. And it, number one, the biggest piece. Oh, wow. This is really, really cool. So obviously these guys came out a while ago, and I had wanted to do a build video of them the week that they released, but like I said earlier, a lot of stress, and I don't want to do these videos unless I have, well, a good mood to be positive about it. I don't want to come on here and just gripe and groan all your heads off. Who wants to hang out and listen to some dude on YouTube complain while he angrily builds Warhammer minis? Oh, so cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what sort of stronghold pieces are going to go on this. So they do that because I guess they hate all civilized life, which seems perfect for the theme of destruction in Age of Sigmar. If you're not familiar with the Age of Sigmar, I guess, overarching factions, where if you're a 40k player, you've got the Imperial armies, the Chaos armies, and the Xenos armies, which represent, you know, the good guys, the bad guys, and all the aliens in between. In Age of Sigmar, if I remember right, there is order, chaos, destruction. So order and chaos sound familiar. You could see that as Imperium and chaos. But the weird one is where you get destruction instead of Xenos. So I'll start with destruction. Destruction represents any, I guess, non-structured civilization. Their sole purpose is to destroy things. They don't have currency, they don't have marriage, they just exist to break stuff. Animalistic, almost. These guys aren't exactly animalistic, and I'm really interested to see that bit about them hating civilized life, because destruction is the opposite of civilization. Within that we have orcs, who, I mean, some people might argue, have a civilization. Orc society doesn't really exist, and I wouldn't say anyone living in an Orc encampment or whatever they have would be living the civilized life in any way, shape, or form. All Orcs exist to do, just like orcs in 40k, is fight. Where these giants, reading up on their lore, have been known to work with civilized life. I was just reading that, and this was really cool, starting in the Age of Chaos, so way back before Sigmar, I think, they worked as mercenaries, and they'd go around and the smaller giants, because the big ones didn't really exist, I think, and they'd sell out their giant crushing bulk as basically living siege engines to different armies and work as mercenaries to get scrap, food, and whatever really they wanted or needed. I mean, if I'm a Chaos Lord or whatever and I'm about to assault some Bretonnians, some big old giant walks up and says, hey, you give me that shiny thing and 18 pigs, I'll break that castle wall for you. I'm going to say yes. I think I remember old Chaos Giants back when I almost got into playing fantasy. But I digress? I don't know. I get off my main point of talking about these guys and the three factions of Age of Sigmar. Destruction being they want to destroy society. There is no civilization. Beastmen. I think Beastmen might be... I'm going to look that up. I know Aurochs and Giants. I'm going to Google Ah, Beastmen are chaos. So that makes a lot more sense. Let's see what other destruction exists. Because really, I only know those two. Oh, and I'm sorry, there's also death. Jeez, how could I forget? There's a whole bunch of death. Okay, so... destruction. Ah, ogres. How could I forget about them? They're giants, but smaller. Aurochs, we talked about them. Gloomspite Gits, orcs, little brothers. And, Sons of Behemat. They all don't really have civilizations. They live in some camps, move around a bit maybe, but there is no way you could argue that there is such thing as a Gloomspite Git civilization. There we go. I am just so impressed. Every time I see one of these painted, I see that they've painted all the grooves in the legs. I have to ask myself, did they paint those by hand, or are they detail on the model? And feeling it, it's detail. It's there, but it's not as prominent as it seems on some of the painted minis, so a lot of work goes into these. And I really think that this kit is definitely going to be, if not already is, one of the painting flex pieces for Age of Sigmar. And that reminds me, oh, what's the deadline for Armies on Parade? I think it's tomorrow. I didn't do anything. I have an old board. I'm going to put some minis on it just to say I entered, because that was my goal for this year. Before, you know, stuff happened, was to enter when it was supposed to be in person, like down the street. There we go. So, Order is, and this is where it gets weird. Order you'd think is any, like, good guy. These are good guys, so they're the Order. But it's not really good. Daughters of Cain are Order. Seraphon, Order. Edeneth Deepkin. When I think Order, I think like Lumineth, Caradron, Cities of Sigmar, Sylvaneth maybe, because they're the ones who I think are like alignment good. But really it's any army that has order in their society, that has civilization. But you could think as... oh dang, I forgot about this, it's been too long. Order and destruction are opposites, as well as order and chaos. But what prevents chaos from being the same as destruction, and please forgive me if I butcher this kind of stuff, is that they have a goal. Destruction doesn't really have a goal. Chaos has an objective. They still might not really have a Maggotkin of Nurgle civilization. The Maggotkin of Nurgle want to bring ruin. That's the wrong word. Not really ruin to the world. They want to make it different. Where destruction just wants to destroy. Chaos wants to taint, fight, create coliseums, swamp Nurgle, all sorts of stuff. Kind of getting off here. Chaos, basically exactly the same as 40k. They worship the 4 Chaos Gods. That's what they do. We get beasts, Khorne, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, Nurgle, Skaven, and generic Slaves of Darkness. And then death is basically anything that's already dead. I don't know what their end game goal is. I don't know if they just want to kind of live their ways and be left alone. Let's see, 4. Whoops. But those are the 4 big factions in Age of Sigmar, if you didn't know. If you did, I'm sorry I butchered those so much. Please comment if you have an easier description for me to understand. But this kit is beautiful. So beautiful. I'm trying to treat it well. I do agree with everyone who's saying it's crazy expensive. And having been in this hobby for so long, and buying and selling used minis, whole armies at a time, it's hard for me to sometimes recognize when a kit is too expensive. And this one is one of those. With the quantity you get here, it's awesome. The potential customization, amount of bits, I can appreciate how much time and effort goes into designing something like this. Having getting into 3D modeling again and more, it's a lot of work. And then cutting it open and putting the contact points in to fit perfectly is... Games Workshop does it amazingly. They really do have some of the highest quality minis out there. But $200 for one mini, it is ludicrous. And it's bonkers. I remember when Death Guard came out, I hadn't started doing all the buying and selling and swapping and stuff. And I think it was $50 for 7 of them was just ridiculous. I was frustrated. Myself and a lot of other Death Guard players were just going out and buying Dark Imperiums, Death Guard halves, everywhere we could get them. At one point I had 6 bloat drones and actually had painted all of them and was going to run a list of almost all bloat drones, and then the Rule of 3 came out and I just kind of threw my hands up in defeat. Oh. It was probably for the better because I didn't lose any local friends over it. I didn't lose any friends. No one had to fight 6 bloat drones with spewers. That would have been awful. Everyone laughed at me in 8th edition when I ran them with the melee weapons, the flesh mowers. Now in 9th edition, they're not laughing anymore. They're calling me names. Oh, I do love it though. Let's see here. So this guy, and I'll probably bust one out for scale later, I believe, is just about as tall as an Imperial Knight. And I'd say, rough estimate, talking straight out of my butt, half the people who saw this kit, their first thought was, I'm going to make an Imperial Knights army out of them, or Chaos Knights army, and I'm going to use the little giants as armigers, the big giants as knights, and the price tag came out, and they said, nope, never mind. No, thank you. I will stick with my normal knights. Let's see here. Looks like a little 2 slots for contact right there. Slides in just right. That is nice. Got to put a little bit of force on it, otherwise we end up with some gappage. Oh wow, it's... Let me get the paper towel. Where did I put those dang things? Here we go. Oh, getting everywhere. I've been playing games when I can. I got to play my carriage on Overlords against Seraphon. It was a blast. We both hadn't played in so long that we made some rules mistakes. Like, he had, I think, 3 endless spells just flying around all over the place. We were counting the dudes embarked in the boats as on the table for objectives, because the boats specifically say no, but they don't say anything if you're garrisoned in the rule book. So we had so many mistakes, but so much fun. Sigmar is an amazingly fun game. It's like if you take the craziest, wildest rolls in 40k, where you're just like, you spike the dice so hard, you wipe out a unit, that's what Age of Sigmar feels like all the time, and it's fantastic. He's throwing out like 8 D3 mortal wounds per turn, and I'm shooting him with 40 shots a turn, just that unit dead, and he's like, your whole army, D3 mortal wounds. Then turn 4, just crumbles. Oh, it's a blast. I've also got to do 3 different crusades, all of which are now on permanent hiatus until COVID ends, or, you know, I feel comfortable going out into a store again. Went to a local store. I was going every Friday. They had the mask policy, and went in, 3 guys without masks. Talked to the store owner. They said, what can you do? So I asked them. They put the masks on. It was fine, but it just kind of made me worried. Really worried. People at work have it. What am I doing? Enough of this. 13 and 11. Let's get this guy some ankle bracelets. 13 and 11. Alright, I'm glad I haven't had to swap sprues yet. 13 and 11. But I will say Crusade has really, really brought back the enjoyment of 40k for me and a lot of my friends. I love it so much. I'd be fine with never doing another pickup game and just playing Crusade with friends forever. If you don't play 40k, Crusade is like Path to Glory, but way better. Way better. And I really want to see the Crusade system from 40k adopted into Sigmar, because I always want to do a Path to Glory campaign, and the sheer randomness, which is what attracted me to it, deterred so many people. Rolling for units. Part of me thinks, well dang, part of me thinks that was Games Workshop thinking, well, if we can make a system where they have to choose a random unit, we'll have to buy random units. And that's also something that turns people away. Dang, so there's definitely a slot for this peg to go in. I'm just having the darndest time. I don't think it fits the way I want it to. Okay, that seems snug, but it's really hard to check the angle on if it's in there. So I'm just gonna put some glue in and cross my fingers. What can you do? Oh, I'm sure there's something I could do, I'm just lazy. See, it looks like 12 is the piece that fits around the front. Why don't I grab 12? Unless this isn't 13 and this is. Dun, dun, dun. I got them backwards. Let's see what else is happening while I fumble around with this so it's not so quiet. I think I might have mentioned a while ago that the 3D scanner I backed on Kickstarter that was supposed to be, you know, use your phone, pop it in this thing, your phone or laptop, and it plugs into it and scans stuff, and they show off these great details. Oh, it's a piece of crap. It's so terrible. Oh man, it's so disappointingly bad. And yeah, it's a disappointment. Wait a second. Oh yeah. Oh, big old chunk of cat hair on me. I think, geez, when was the last time I did this? Multiple months ago, at least. Let's find out when my last video was uploaded. 1 month ago was Silent King. October 21st. Yeah, it's been over a month. Halloween came and went. That's about it. Thanksgiving was cool. Halloween was cool. Number 12 goes on the front of this leg. I gotta say, this is great. You know, I think Silent King also broke me a little bit. In retrospect, I haven't built... Oh man. I don't think I've actually built anything fully. Just looking around my desk since Silent King. Oh, that kit was terrible. I've got like 12 half-finished projects. I'm working on some Forge World stuff for my Crusade. Some mods. I'm modding the Assault Intercessors I showed how to convert way back when, just to give one a Thunderhammer, because you can do that now, so why not pay those points? But jeez, wow, yeah, I haven't built anything. Man, don't build Silent King, it'll kill the hobby for you. Jeez. So far this guy is heavens better. I'm very glad I don't have to do Silent King ever again. Get out of here. Okay. So it says gate breakers. Wait, what? Oh, they hate civilization because they think civilized society is why Behemat died, which is crazy brutal. Imagine some dude being like, hey, your house is the reason my god is dead. That's rough. There's definitely some contact points under here. I'm just gonna, wow, that's really sensitive. Yeah, watch out for those pieces. I'm just gonna peel this back. A little baby droplet of plastic glue in there. Push it forward. Oop. A little bit of glue on both of those. A little bit in here. And then I'll hold this one for a second. They wear their cowl, the executioner's mask, apparently is sometimes looted flags and banners. That's so cool. If the one on the box had been wearing a banner with like the Empire sigil on it, or a dwarven one, instead of just black, I think that would have been pretty metal. But the black one definitely gets the point across as they feel like they're executioners of civilizations. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Dang, instructions are huge. C10. As usual, we've got just an assortment of numbers on this one. Yep, 10, 43, 73, 15, and then 116. So this might be a two-part video, just because recording all this takes up space on the phone. The phone only has so much space, and I still haven't really graduated to big boy recording school with a legit camera with legit space. I'm still just using my Pixel 5. But Christmas is around the corner, so I might just treat myself to a nice digital camera and 3D print a new rig for it. Which, while the scanner's a disappointment, I also got a new 3D printer, my Lego Saturn. Might have gotten that before the last video, but it's freaking awesome. I'm printing all sorts of crud. Thought I had him around here. Oh. Gonna say printed Apocalypse tokens. I know that game's pretty much dead, but it's really fun and I love it. I printed hundreds of those. Oh, this guy's cool. Already really cool. We gotta give him some feet. But before we do that, we gotta give him a big old beer belly. It's also really nice to be working with a kit that's just some big pieces after Silent King. I'm gonna move these instructions. 1 second. Oh, that's better. They were sitting right in front of my desk fan. I love having a wind blowing at me. Trying to do diligence with keeping this kit nice and clean. I actually think I'm going to keep that Lord of Change I made a while ago and add him to my demons and start adding some Zeech. It's tough though because I've always been an Nurgle guy, and I know that Zeech and Nurgle combo is actually working right now because of the Exalted Demons, and I hate to bandwagon, like, hey, I'm going to start playing this competitive list, but oh man, Mono Demons gets boring fast. And Slanesh has never really been my thing. So at the end of the day, I own like 50 Plague Bears, 27 Nurglings, 20-something Plague Drones, 4 Great Unclean Ones, a bunch of the Herald dudes, and some Soulgrinders. And like 4 trees. It's a lot, but the tactics are almost always identical no matter who you face. And that's boring. Alright, let's see here. Do we want to put this together? Yeah, we put this big old paunch dad bod together first. Sons of Behemat, the dad bod army. Oh. Curse you, Citadel glue. I will say that doing these videos, I've gotten so much more used to how quickly Citadel glue binds things that I've started using it on my own projects. The downside is that a lot of times I'll go back and butcher my old projects and redo them. Point A, this guy, the assault intercessors that I put Wolfen hands on, I ripped his hand off so I could put the Thunderhammer on. And with, normal super glue, it's usually a pretty clean break. Plastic glue, it's not always a clean break. Well, there's some gap lines up and down the dad bod, but it's not too bad. See if that just, oh yeah, that's easy, that's nice. You get some kits where you have to hook and slink on, but this one is just, bam, just set it there and you're good. It looks really straightforward, the connection points, unlike Silent King, who I don't even think I respond to the comments on that video. It's just mini building PTSD. Feel sorry for Necron players who want to use Silent King. There we go. Which he was an expensive kit, but I don't think he was this expensive. This is ridiculous. Let's see. Silent. Yeah, he was 150, which is still kind of bonkers. I mean, yeah, I'm in my 30s, I've got a stable job, I've got a house, I'm doing well. So dropping $130 on at the end of the day, let's just be honest, they're toys. Even if the box this Games Workshop sends us says not children's product or adults only, that doesn't change the fact that we're building toys. If you're a train hobbyist, you're playing with toy trains. If you build model cars, you're playing with toy cars. We play with them. We display them. They're collective. There's nothing to be ashamed of, but it is still just a really, really, really cool chunk of plastic. Which I love. I have a ton of stuff. I mean, I grabbed so many examples of stuff just on my desk that I'm working on. All these Demon Prince conversions that have gone half done for years. And yeah, I don't know, it's just something that I've been thinking about. Maybe it's the quarantine or... But then you think about how much enjoyment and time I get out of it. If I go to the movies, maybe $15, $20 a ticket, just because prices suck. Then I usually would go to like Alamo Draft House with my wife. We'd get food. They're probably $20 each, so now we're looking at $80 for maybe 2 hours of entertainment. $80 for that. If we were patient, we could wait a year or so, maybe less, watch whatever we just watched from our own home on Netflix for the $15 a month. So, how much enjoyment would I get out of a $200 model? Building it is probably going to be 2 hours, and I'm going to enjoy it. I love building stuff so much. Oh, yeah, I don't think these guys were done. I've actually been 3D printing a lot. These are some of my 3D printed bases, and I have a ton of them. Oh, I got like 30 of them over on my desk, and I'm getting well textured for my Space Wolves. Well, not textured, painted up. That's what I've been doing. And I'm also doing some fancy Chaos Warlord stuff. So, from a third-party view, yeah, Warhammer's dumb expensive. Especially when you compare it to like Dungeons & Dragons, where you don't even need a miniature. But you compare it to other hobbies, other equally high investment hobbies, which is kind of like, you don't necessarily compare a pickup truck to a Ferrari. They're made for different things. Or even, you know, an F-150 to a Focus RS. They both are great at what they do. The RS is a real hot hatch. The F-150 is the most popular car in the world, or at least America, or truck. Actually, I think it's both. It's a good truck. The RS is a good hot hatch. These minis are good. They're great. And I think a lot of the draw to Age of Sigmar and Warhammer in general, Games Workshop, is that I don't have to use my imagination to add details to the miniatures. Reaper has really good stuff. I love Reaper. I've backed a lot of their Bones things. It's great, but the quality isn't Kickstarter. It's fantastic for Dungeons & Dragons. It's fantastic for what I use it for. Because with D&D, you know, I could play that game with chess pieces. I don't necessarily care what my mini looks like. And you could do the same with 40K. All your grots could be paper cutouts, and people do that. Heck, I've done that. I've proxied an entire army to see if I liked it before investing in it. It's great. I made chimeras out of cardboard. I just found the papercraft plans for them, traced it in cardboard, cut them out, and then just taped it together with like freaking Scotch tape. But I spend hours and hours kit bashing these expensive pieces, magnetizing them, and giving them lore and names, because all of that little detail is just, it's like it's begging for it. You give me this mini, and I want to add a story to it. And I want to pile on more detail. With Dungeons & Dragons, it's there, but it's story. With these guys, it's there, and it's combat. I want this guy. He's going to have a name. He's going to have a reason for his lightning claws, and then he's just going to go mess stuff up. That's it. And then, you know, maybe I'll give him some other fancy stuff. You know, names or whatever. Or, deeds, epic tales. This giant, I could give him a quick backstory, and then take really awesome pictures of him jacking stuff up on the table. Tell these great tales of, you know, here's how this Siegebreaker Gargant, sorry, a lot of glue, it's talking glue at the same time. I'm sorry, Gatebreaker Gargant went and busted through a dwarven stronghold. In my last Age of Sigmar, he had 2 stupid floating turtles, not turtles, frogs, and a little lizard with a banner to make him cast better spells inside of a freaking pyramid. And I'm flying outside that pyramid in boats, blasting at it. But they're like -2 to hit because there's also guys outside. It's not working, so all my little boats just ram in, blow that pyramid up with bombs. And if the minis weren't what they are, I don't know. I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much, because I wouldn't see the bombs on the minis, really be able to spend so much time imagining the narrative of it, because I don't have to imagine the miniature. If that makes sense, I'm happy. If it doesn't, I'm still happy. I love this stuff. I have Titans, I have expensive things that if you told my parents about, or had told me about back when I was younger, I would have said no way. But it's great. This kit, I think the hard thing is, it's not for an existing army. It's for a new army. And that kind of makes me feel like, I don't know, like you want to test it first, but it's hard to. Yeah, you could do cutouts, buy the bases, put, oh, here we go. That's almost close. Throw some of these dudes on there. This guy's $20. He's got good detail. Bam! Sons of Dorn, or Golden, running around. Proxy it. And then decide if you want to drop $500 on a new army, which, again, seems crazy. But I think the hour investment to money, excuse me. So I'm looking for bits. Don't show off too much of that. It's really cool. the investment you make and the amount of time you get back is worth it. Pull that up. I'm looking for his heel. It's in the 70s, and this guy goes up into the hundreds, so it takes a minute. Got hands. You know, with all these kits, there's no rhyme or reason. There's 70. There we go. Doesn't seem like there's rhyme or reason to how things are put on these sprues. So that's 71. Now I need 70, 72. Here we go. Oh man, detail. Horn shield. That's Warriors of Chaos. Lumineth? I don't know about that one. Tombstone from Cool. There's that Raven I was talking about. That's that's Deepkin. I might have to pause and go show my wife. She has a mini with that thing on it. Oh wow. Just wow at all the little references, callbacks. I don't know what that is, but I love it. This mini is great. I'm not going to try to say you have to go buy it because of that, but it's amazing. 69. I mean, this doesn't look that amazing. Yeah, whatever. It's a big giant. But looking at this part it's hard for me to focus on actually building it. 68. Dragon skull. That's just rope. Jeez. I'm gonna say it. Forge World is dead. Games Workshop can do better. There's no reason to buy a Forge World mini when... Okay. You can't do that with resin anymore. There's no reason for Forge World to be making kits when Games Workshop can make them better. Now, where is piece 68? You have 5 minutes to find it. I'm kidding. I'm looking at other screws. I found it on this one. I'm pretty sure I've brought up that argument before that just the quality of these just is fantastic. Yeah, these are based on the Deathsworn, which compared to old kits, yeah, there's more detail, but there's no reason Games Workshop can't do the same or better right now. There's got to be some weird contract stuff. That, and they probably make butt tons of money. That's where it hits the stopping wall, is when you see these people with like 3 warlords. Ugh, man, I'd pay a couple $100, upwards of $500 for a warlord, but a down payment on a car? No, thank you. No, thank you. Buy a 3D printer or 2 and just make one. You only get to use it like twice a year. Okay, what is he in? Does he have shoes? This dude has shoes. Man, is it dark out? 5:30. It's dark as hell. Gotta love it. Get that bit out of here. I think I'll try to get the base, kind of the body built in this video, see how far I can go. Oh dang, this is for the Kraken Eater. Whoopsie. Kraken Eater. I want Gatebreaker. War Stomper. Oh, so cool. Gatebreaker. Okay. I'm still gonna glue this foot together because, I mean, why not? Boop. Just got carried away. Whoops. Come on. Come on. Okay. So these can go over here. This can come back. 6 and 7. Well, that's so much easier. This guy's only got 4 toes. I guess he's not human. There's no reason for him to have 5. And, wait, what? Oh, 8 and 7. All right. Little mold line, nothing bad. Nothing bad at all. Kind of sad that this one doesn't have sandals. Just out of curiosity, on my own time, I might build the rest of the bits, just follow along and see how much I can get out of it. I'd assume it's all the pieces except for this, which could result in some really cool pieces, you know, big feet, arms, most of the arms, a bunch of heads. Maybe I could do some fun conversions. I actually sold my Chaos Knights a little bit after 9th dropped. I played a game with them with the new rules, and I love the new rules, but I didn't really enjoy playing Knights. I kind of got into them just to stomp around with Knights and have some fun, and with the new style of missions, I really enjoy playing those missions. I just don't enjoy playing them as Knights. I don't think I'd enjoy Crusade as Knights. It's like, hey, here's your one Knight, and he gets all the upgrades. I like having diversity, teams, and groups. This guy's got a bit more minor mold lines. Those are I modeled these after my dad's toenails. Jeez. My mom knows what I'm talking about. He cuts his toenails, well, he doesn't cut them. He uses a Dremel, and he files them down with it. Freaking bonkers. That's looking good. So this glue on here. Get this giant some feet. And then just tons of little bits and bobs go on. Oh wow. Looking at the next few pieces, a lot goes on this guy. It dries. Surprisingly, he's only like 5 pages. So, oh my heck. The bulk of this model is the customization. And it's, you know, obviously so much more than you get from equally sized kits. And I think that's where the price detachment comes from, is when I look at, say, Silent King, $150 kit. Who's that corn dude? You know, let me just go to the Games Workshop website and sort by Lords of War. Mortarion, 150. Corn Lord of Skulls, 160. Knight Tyrant, or Castellan, 170. Monolith, 170. There's a lot of prices up there. Average Knight is 150. Oh, wow. Baneblades are 140. So, Storm Surge, 170. Transcendence 10, 170. The Stampa's only 125? Wow. I might get a Stampa. I don't know what I'll do with it. I just want a Stampa. They're cool. 125 is cheap for just the size and what you get. I know it's not... This thing honestly might have more sprues. But the thing I'd say... All of those. Every single one, save for maybe the Baneblade, is that they lack customization. The Baneblade is a butt ton. Whereas the Baneblade and the Storm Swords, maybe not that much. But most of them can only swap weapons. Look at the Knight Castellan. It really... I mean, its shoulder weapons, I think, are the only customization you have for it. If the Castellan and the Valiant were in the same kit... Wait, are they? I don't know. No, they aren't. Because I have a Valiant. And you can't make a Castellan out of it. That's some bullcrap. If they were the same kit, I'd say they could be on par with this. This is a kit to make 3 different models, which all have a lot of customization going to them beyond simply, here are some different weapons on this big old robot. Because that's the other thing. Let's take a look at the Aegis Sigmar. I don't think there's a way to view them by, you know, what's big as heck. War Machine, maybe? How's the Ironclad? 123? I think, yeah, they don't really have a Lord of War section. I'm gonna say the Star Drake. Ooh, excuse me. Price, high to low. 195 for these guys, and then after that it's 170 for Techless, Archaon's 165, then it's drops to 156, 140, and you start getting all the demons. And they're all characters, except these guys. And they all build kind of monopose. These guys do too, but... wow, yeah, they're all characters. The Vermin Lord, there we go. Oh, they're all... huh. Dang, yeah, they're all pretty much exactly the same except weapons. Where these guys, all 3 of them have... oh, maybe not unique poses. They just got smart and rotated the mini when they posted it. Oh man, have I been doing the whole thing up here? Oh, it's gonna be disappointing. We'll find out. I hope not. I haven't looked at the camera much. What am I at? It's 82 minutes? 52. Yeah, I'll probably do this one in chunks of hours or so. Pace myself a little bit. Obviously, I've been rambling a lot, and I'm not even drinking. We got feet. That makes me happy. We can put him here while he's there. Oh, I did have a great example. Oops. Imperial Chaos Knight. Let's check basic height comparison between a Chaos Knight. Oh yeah, that's... I mean, the bulk on this guy's not there, but they're about the same height. You could easily do an army like that. It's a big chungus. And if you want to do kind of a dark... oh, I dropped all the screws. Mix of giant bits in these. I bet a good converter could buy 1 Knight, 1 Gargant, and easily make 2 combined Gargant Knight dudes. Let's see. So now we're going to give them a belt. Actually, we're staying on this sprue a lot, so if you don't want to swap sprues, make the Gatebreaker. So I need 18. In the instructions on this part, it has just a lot of pieces go on it. So I'm going to try to start here and go around. And it does a good job of showing where everything goes. This is a really cool kit. Just beautiful detail. I can't stress enough how awesome the detail on this is. It's fantastic. If you ever have a chance to see one of these up close, it's great. I hope this wasn't Games Workshop testing the waters to see, hey, can we put out a $200 plastic kit and will people buy it? Now, I don't have Games Workshop's books in front of me to tell you if people did or did not buy this. No one but Games Workshop knows. We can make estimates and we can say, well, my local store sold out, or this and this and this and this, and eBay shows that. But at the end of the day, we don't know Games Workshop's sales. It's like people who complain that Space Marines get all the releases. Well, that's because Space Marines sell the best. And we know that because Games Workshop has told us. Huh. There's a little tiny piece right there that, oh, I think I see the belt goes in there. Oh no, it's supposed to be like that. Cool, it's just frayed rope. That sticks in there really well. So I hope it's not them putting out, you know, basically it's a 2-army box. Codex, box 1, box 2 is the 2 Man Crushers. And whether or not this does well will decide whether or not other armies get bigger things. Like, I used to think the Ironclad was the biggest, coolest thing, and it is still big and cool. But I wouldn't say no to a bigger boat. I wouldn't say no to an aircraft carrier that flies, that gun haulers get in. I'd use that. I'd pay for it. I want a flying freaking fortress. Ooh, man. A skyport for armies on parade next year? That'd be cool. Or maybe a couple years from now, because my KO are not painted, like, at all. At all. I've got some primer on them. But this dude's probably my most painted mini, and I still have to do a lot of highlights and a lot of stuff so he doesn't look like he's just primered a lot. There's a big old dust ring under that dude. Next is 20 right here. Oh, hey, I didn't really get on there. Huh. Are these two supposed to connect? I believe so. That's really weird. Put a little glue where it actually does touch the mini, which isn't deep into the crevice. Crevasse. Kind of flays out a little. It's not flush and flat, which it kind of shows it. This guy, yep, that's better. As usual, reading the instructions is a good idea on kits you've never built. Who would have thunk it? Man, that's looking cool. It's such a small detail that adds so much. And so far this kit is full of them. I think I might just go on a spree and see how many people have painted these just amazingly. I wish I had the patience and determination to freehand a bunch of flags and symbols that are tattered and torn all over this thing. That's just awesome. I did not get to the arms today. Well, in this recording. Let's see here. Ooh. So it looks like there's a little nub right there I should cut off, but it's actually a piece of rope that connects to that piece of rope. And I'm just putting the glue down right above and sometimes on the little bit of rope that goes around the waist, because this sets right on top of it. And so far there haven't been any real challenging parts to this, which is great. I'm gonna say it again, especially after Silent King, where I felt like every piece was, hold up, there's something wrong. I've seen a few comments where like, hey, you did this bad. Not like negative, but telling me I got some pieces mixed up, so there might have been some self-induced frustration, where if I had been a bit smarter more patient or careful with reading instructions, I wouldn't have run into them, but a lot of it was still just like the stairs. I did not like those steps. What's this bell say? No, I don't speak that language. What about this one? No. Elvish, maybe? Do elves? Yeah, the cow elves have bells. They're good cows. Lumineth. Actually, almost bought a Lumineth army. The last thing I bought and sold, dang, was Aurochs and Chaos Knights. And before that, it was a whole bunch of orcs. Just everyone unloaded their orcs at the same time. There aren't any contact marks on this one, so it just kind of slides on. It doesn't really need it. It's been the last part. Is it though? No, there's so much more stuff that goes on this dude. Yeah, so much more. It's already really cool. I'm gonna set him down. Take a quick look. So we're gonna set this off to the side and find a sprue with the pieces I need. I'm gonna need this one. And yeah, this guy. Back to this sprue with the scales on the Kraken one. Oh, I hope it doesn't call for use of this bird, because I'm going to put that bird on one of my rune priests. The pet bird. Okay, so where was... Here we go. It's got the tombstone. It's got some planks. It's got just all sorts of cool stuff on it. And the planks even have individual little nail marks. Oh, they really went above and beyond on this one. I don't know, maybe it's like a tech demo. It's amazing. This kit is beautiful. Again, don't expect everyone to just run out and buy one. But if you do this for the hobby and the painting, so far this is well worth it. And looking at the pictures online, this guy doesn't look at first glance at having this much detail. He seems really basic. Just going and doing the 360 views, the Kraken Eater looks like he's got a lot going on. And the War Stompa also looks like he's got a ton. Honestly, he might have the most. It's 360 that dude. Oh, he's got a ton. Yeah. If you are just a hobbyist and you don't own one of these guys, treat yourself. Okay. So there's ropes going down here. I'm about to strap some planks and a tombstone to this dude's belly. And at the same time, where's the other piece? Here we go, maybe. Got 115. I'm gonna need that. 24, 26, 112. Oh, hi, Moss. Yeah, good boy. One of my kitties came to say hi. There's no room for you on the desk, Moss. You're the best kitty. I love Moss the most. You can tell Beans that. I don't care. Am I just missing it? I'm gonna go to that 360. These 360 things on spin rounds are just so useful when you're putting together a really big kit. Okay, I know what I'm looking for now. It is that piece. Did they? They misnumbered these in the instructions. This is labeled as 112, but this is 112. They got them backwards. Okay, hold on. Kitty break. I know that's why you all watch. Moss? Oh. Boom. Oh, 15, 16 pounds of chunk. Good boy. Come on. Come on the back of the chair. There you go. Good boy. I know that's where you really want to be. All right. I know I had seen the piece. It just... Hi. It just wasn't numbered right. Okay, I know I've been in my office for a while. You gonna lie down, show everyone your pretty belly? Tip the kitty. Tip the kitty. There you go, Moss. Can you look up at the camera so everyone can see your pretty eyes? Knocking over my glue with this wrecking ball of a tail. Moss. There you go. Good boy. Oh, just don't knock over the soda, Moss. I'd love to snuggle and give you a little brush because you hate it. Oh, good boy. And you need it. Jeez. Guess you're shedding. I'm going to pause for a second. All right. A little bit later, I've got cat hair all over. Hold on, I got to vacuum this. Okay. Moss is on the back of my desk. He got some brushing. Spend some time hugging him because he's such a good kitty cat. And we can get back to gluing crap to a giant. So as I said, these two pieces are mislabeled. They have the numbers backwards, at least on the English version at release. I don't know if they fixed it. I usually go by what it looks like, and doing these videos I've been trying to go by part number. And I think that's where I got confused, is the numbers were wrong, and I bumped my camera. There we go. Okay. Wow. There's actually a lot of pieces that go into this. So I'm going to start over here. Is this... Whoa, what? That guy didn't glue in at all. There's a lot of extremely fine pieces that all have to connect. And it seems like it's going to be really easy to screw up. So I'm going to start in the place where I think I will have the best chance of not screwing up. The bell does not look right. That bell is fine. That's how it should be. Whoops. Yeah. And that is on the bell. So we have 3 pieces here that are going to connect to the bell, and honestly, I think just putting some glue on these really flat, almost textured spots is the way to go. I'm going to go for the tips, the 3 spots, and some dots on everywhere that it looks like it's going to touch the mini. Okay. Downside of this is we can't really slide it around a test. So I'm gonna try to get this in one fell swoop. Nice. I focused on this point up here and this point down here because this one, the rope goes in and then ties into this knot. And what I wanted was for the rope to connect here and touch, but there's a gap in there that it fits in pretty well. That's on pretty snug. I'm looking at some of these pieces, like right here. I don't know if you can tell, but it almost looks like a spot that I want to cut off. It is not a spot to cut off. Now on this side, all we have to go off of is that it starts there. Since we already have this one on, we can see that it starts here and connects right there. On the flip side, there's connection points all on the back of this. There, up here, all through that, and a lot of them on the back of this chunk of, I don't know, portcullis? It's probably a terrible misuse of that word. So if any of you were to paint one of these, you know, looking at it, I'd think that painting it before applying all this would be the way to go. But dang it, I would not want to have to glue all this on afterwards. Now, because this is a lot of cool detail. This net from the Kraken Eater just keeps getting clipped on everything. Is this the portcullis? Google portcullis later. Some mold lines on this one. Mold lines are always one of the hardest ones to clean. Just how it goes. Big open surface, curved, no mold lines. Little piece with spots hard to reach, mold lines everywhere. Oh. Huh. It's actually a hole right there. I don't know what that hole is for. Oh geez, we need another piece. 113. Do we though? Yeah, we do. More planks for armor. See if it's on this piece. I don't see it anywhere. Put this one where the rest came from. 4, 113. Yeah, it'll be planks just like this. What the pieces we tossed to the side? There they are. Okay. All right. Clean up that clip mark. I'm going to try to just notice there's a little T mark right there. Not sure if that's a point for connect. It is. This one actually has little spots here and here where you're supposed to, oh man, that bell does not want to stay glued. I'm going to glue it down here to the cloth. Toss that on there. Now it'll stay put. And then this guy, we've got all these dangly pieces. Kind of, I don't know if I can get the angle right to show this guy floating around. Probably connect to the back of this. The skull being hollow keeps throwing me off. Okay, so it floats. Okay, I think I got an idea for this. It's going to be a tricky one to walk through. This guy connects here. So I'm going to put the glue on the outside. The chains all connect. And then I will try to drop it on the chains first. Whoops. I'm going to apply, there we go, pressure down to the chain and to the side, and hope this piece is touching on the back. And let that plastic glue do its work, dry extra quick. This is actually a spot where I'm very grateful to be using plastic glue over super glue, because this is going to need to bond. Wow. That is really cool. So all we have left is the head and the arms. You know what? Let's go ahead and see if we can just finish this guy. We're at 117. It's gonna be a long one. All right. So the arms. Oh, there's a little lock to show this is a piece from a door. Some hinges. That's great detail. That is fantastic detail. Let's see if I can keep finding these pieces so easily. And where's that grabby hand? Use that grabby hand. I believe the earlier, maybe the current ones, I know the old giant had a bit that was him grabbing a dude. It looks like this giant has a bit where he's grabbing two dudes. Ooh, excuse me. Itchy nose. Let's get the chunks smoothed out here. Go. I did watch a battle report with these guys, and I forgot that giants just have the I'm gonna put you in a bag attack. And then I think it was this one has an ability where they pick you up and crush you, and I think they have to roll a d6 equal to double your wounds, but if they're not bracketed they get a bonus. And they can get up to an 8 on a natural 6. And then it does, so he picks them up, crushes them to death, and then throws them at something, which is so cool. Oh man, as these go together, you start seeing so much more detail come through. There's a horseshoe on this guy. Just why? 'Cause the lock to a door, the hinge falling down, it's got 2 layers of cloth, rope holding the door up. Okay, who's tying this stuff to these dudes? There's some really tiny knots on this. And these guys have these giant fingers. Even the smaller sons of Behemat don't look to have the dexterity, so are Aurochs lending them their Noblars or something to, I guess, maybe it could be luck, like they smashed something and it just happened to sling onto them just right. Oh, I'm gonna bust through this cabin and pick it up and sling it over my shoulder. Now I have a cool cabin cloak. Or, you know, it could be, in exchange for my assistance, can you please tie my shoes? I'll win the war for you if you zip me up. Thank you. And give me 30 cows. I need a snack. Yep, he's holding 2 people. And wow. So the first guy, I think it's most likely a guy. It's kind of hard to tell. That could be a lady. No, I'm pretty sure that's like peasantry stuff. Maybe a monk? I don't know. So he's trying to climb out, and you can see where his foot is pushing into the flesh of the knight's palm and making wrinkles. That's quality detail. They did not have to do the wrinkles in there. They could have gotten away without it. And I think that's what you're paying for with this crazy price tag. Alright, the other arm. I think we're done with this sprue. Oop. We're not done with this one. And we're not done with that one. As I continue to mumble to myself. 57 through 60. That's what I need. 59. I knew I saw some of them on this. And 60. Yeah, we're not done with this one at all. Eight. And now we are. What? I like this just tentacle. That's, I don't know what I'll use it for, but it's cool. And just arrows to be sticking out of a knight, or I keep saying knight, a giant. Because they're huge, and the only model I've built this, like, single dude with giant legs is a knight. I built a Glock a long time ago. It's a big, big dude. I kind of hope someone bashes some lady giants. I think that'd be really cool to see. Especially after seeing the Underworld's female maggotkin. The sorcerer witch, I guess. Oh, that mini's so cool. That mini and the Carriage Run Overlord ones. Honestly, I'll probably learn how to play Underworlds. It's a pretty cool looking game. I don't know, I see tournaments about it, and I guess that's deck building. So if you play it and you want to tell me how cool it is, please leave a comment. If I'm doing this all wrong and you want to tell me how wrong I am, go ahead and leave a comment. I am happy for feedback. And if you just like listening to the sensual pipes of Joe as he builds Warhammer, please continue. I'm going to try to do more. Honestly, I think I'll just start recording as I putz around and build some Crusade stuff. I did finally get a repulsor. I've been trying to get my hands on a repulsor for ages. So long that I haven't even looked at the rules for it. I just knew it was a big, chonky transport for Primaris. And I've been having fun driving around kind of the Impulsor Rush. And well, I think the Shield Domes are 5-ups now. Well, I was doing Shield Domes with Space Wolves. Now I've just got one with all the guns, and it shoots so much, so I thought, you know what, repulsor, tons of guns. I didn't know it held 10 dudes. That's awesome. So I'm gonna Space Wolf it up and throw, I think, veteran intercessors, and then make them Veterans of Indomitus, Give them all chain sword and heavy bolt pistols, so they're basically assault intercessors. And then with their bloodied upgrade in Crusade for Veterans of Indomitus, which is 1 point, or requisition point, I'll do the Space Wolf one where you choose 2 from a chart and probably go +1 strength and +1 attack. Meaning that the pack leader, I think will have 6 attacks with a Thunderhammer at strength 10. Just him and his 4 buddies run around with their Executioner masks. Oh, so cool. Almost as cool as this dude. What's he holding? What's this arm? Oh, is that a bell? Hold on. Okay. It looked like a bell, but so many... Oh, it's a pillar. I was gonna say a lot of things are, you know, swinging the bell around, but that's Skaven and Nurgle, and this looks like the base of a pillar. Where's the other half of said pillar? So yeah, let's see if I can get a nice... It's got the base of it, it goes up, they wrapped it in chain, put some spikes on it. It's got like a little dog tag. I don't know, maybe it could be a battering ram. It's a chunk of fortress. And, excuse me, honestly, if it was a battering ram, it would just fit so perfectly for a gate breaker to have a battering ram flail. Just having a battering ram being called a gate breaker. There's times where I think, man, it'd be cool to like work for Games Workshop and work with minis. In the Space Wolf Facebook group, there's an employee in there who works on Space Wolves, I think lore-wise, but he's cool to talk about. He was talking about some of the design that went into the Unique Reavers. It's kind of a fantasy to have that as a job. And then I look like the detail they put into this, and I think, man, if it was, you know, like me and a bunch of buddies talking about making something like this and building off each other's ideas, yeah, I could see that. But I can't imagine myself designing something like this. Just the idea of it. It's too cool. It's beyond me. It's art. Ooh, it's really spiky too. Dang. Okay, nothing broke. So lots of spots to put some glue on in this guy. Obviously all over the... I'm just going to call it the gate breaker. Let me check his rules. Maybe this thing has a name. Whatever it is, it's awesome, and I do want to make a Chaos Knight army with these guys. Use this as the big old fist. Okay, let's see. Ooh. It's 129 pieces for this kit. Ah, no, it only has the Kraken Eater on here. It doesn't have the rules for the Gate Breaker. Ugh. Curse you. Then I was looking at the website. Does it have... Oh, they're online. I forgot. I wish they did that with 40k. Let's zoom in. The Fort Crusher Flail. Its range of 3, which is absurdly long. Its attacks bracket. Oh. What? 10 attacks with the flail. Hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. Neg 3, 3 damage each. He could do 30 damage with this weapon alone. What? Oh. What? Okay. Okay. I'm having trouble processing this. I watched a battle report with them and I saw what they could do. 3 of these dudes just walked up and kicked their way through an army, but it was more like listening than actually watching. Like I was at work with it on the background and I just glanced over and it's like, oh hey, there were Minotaurs there. Oh hey, they're gone. 30 damage. Okay, that's one. What else does he have? Hold on, let me clip this. Ooh, he's got some dwarf bits. That's a grudge. Oh my gosh, I think I can identify these. Check. Check. This is so exciting. Yeah. Okay. These pieces right here, that is from a gyrocopter. Boom. I win. What do I win? I get to build the rest of this guy. Okay. Okay. This is... Oh, I didn't want this to happen. I looked at this kit. I want to build this. I hope it doesn't awaken anything in me. I didn't say that. I honestly didn't expect to fall in love with this based on the absurdity of their rules. It's so over the top. It's like Sharknado over the top. I thought, yeah, it's some cool giants. That'll probably appeal to some people. And it's not my thing. It's not my weird army kink. But it might be. I have to watch some more reports of these dudes. Oh, that fits in nice. Okay. So he can throw a boulder. He's a giant, yeah. He throws one boulder, does 4 damage. That's kind of cool. He can step on you. 2 of those. 3s, 3s, -2d3. Seems reasonable. Death grip. She grabs you. That's this part. Squishes you. Hitting on 3, wounded on 2s, rend 3, d6 damage. And this absurdity of a flail. Oh, freaking 10 attacks. So he brackets from 10 down to 5. He brackets 5 times. 5 different brackets. He can throw the rock, that brackets down. And then his movement goes from 12 to 8. Something called Smash Down. Let's see these abilities. He can reroll hit rolls of his stomp. Of 1, unless it's a monster. When he charges... let's see here. He does D3 mortal wounds or D6. Reroll death grip, unless it's a monster. Long shanks. You can walk over dudes. Smash down. Here we go. Well, I check this. So, Gatebreaker Mega Gargants have a deep loathing of cities and settlements, which are seen as symbols for those who have killed their ancestor figure, the god beast of Behemat. Yeah, I read that on the wiki. Add 1 to the damage inflicted by each successful attack made by this model that targets a unit that is part of a garrison or wholly with or on terrain. Oh, dude. Expletive deleted, Caradron overlords. Dude. If this guy gets up to one of your boats, oh. Hits you with a Fort Crusher flail, oh. 4 damage each. Ooh. Because that's Caradron's whole thing. Get in the boats. Sorry, this has the slightest little raised and lowered spot for it. A lot more of this was really kind of easy with contact points, but this part doesn't have much at all. Surprising. So, I mean, it does fit on very easily, but it was more of to get more surface area to... Ooh, I hate that. To connect better. As you can tell, it's kind of easy to come apart. In addition, at the end of the combat phase, you can pick 1 terrain feature within 3 of this model and roll a dice. If it's equal to or greater than the smash down value, which starts at a 2 and goes to a 6, the terrain feature is reduced to rubble. All of its scenery rules are replaced with the deadly scenery rule, and its keywords are changed to scenery and rubble. Oh, wow. He destroys terrain. If spell or ability would slay this model without any wounds or mortal wounds being inflicted, so outright death, he just takes d6. His bravery thing. And timber. He falls down. Ooh, does this guy have 35 wounds, a 4-up save, bravery 7. Oh, goodness gracious. Wow. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna... I'm gonna keep this guy. I don't know if I'm gonna paint him. But, oh my gosh, he's cool. His rules are cool. I might have to go buy that battle tomb. I missed 2 little pieces. I'm gonna have to look at the other ones because, wow, that sounds cool. I mean, wanton, horrifying destruction is always cool. You can't be like, oh, Scarbrand, he's just some punk. No, Scarbrand is awesome. He was cooler when it was just like, hey, outrageous carnage. He was kind of broken. Outrageous carnage is still really awesome. But models that are just so over the top that only Warhammer could have them. Position this guy right here to dry upside down really appeal to me because they're so absurdly over the top. Like Logan Grimnar. On a sled. A hover sled pulled by wolves. I love it. I love the heck out of it. Here we go. Let's get this guy's nasty ass face out of here. And I haven't ever played a destruction army or anything like one. Don't tell my wife I'm having these thoughts. What do we need? 120 and 119. Well, we're gonna need 121, so I might as well clip that out and forget what the number is. Let's get 119. Oh, cool, there's a little lantern on him. And 21, 118, 119, 122. Here we go, 120. This is surprising. The face, the eyes and everything are their own piece. And the hood actually functions like a hood. It drapes over it. When I saw this mini, I figured that it'd just be kind of a clamshell thing, where the face was just 2 halves with this already over it. Huh. Bananas. I'm gonna do it. Don't tell anybody. I'm gonna look at, while I assemble this, the Kraken Eater. Look at his ridiculous rules. Yeah, bring up them rules for the Kraken Eater. I wanna eat some Krakens. Okay. Cool little lantern. And the problem with starting these guys is they're super cool. This has been a really fun build. I'd love to build another one because just kind of relax and leave stuff together. But I don't exactly have my stuff together with my Age of Sigmar or any projects. I'm focusing a lot on my Crusade games because they're just really fun. Well, no, here's the motivation. I told myself a couple months ago, no new armies until I re-lose the weight that I regained. I was down to 165 pounds after a lifetime of being like 280 above. Now I'm 240 again because, well, COVID, family members dying, general stress and anxiety. Here's the motivation. I love this kit. This has been a blast. I want to build more. I want to run around with these guys on the table. And now, I have a new army that I want to start. So this is great. Monday, counting calories, it's Thanksgiving, and it's another rough week. My wife and I are counting calories. We're going back to meal prep. Look at that. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's so cool, like Two-Face. Okay, so this guy he hurls debris instead of a stone. He still stomps, he still has death grip, but the Kraken Eater has a Shipwreck of War Club. It has 8 attacks. Oh, he hurls debris 24 inches. 3, neg 2, 2 damage. So it's not as crazy, just his base profile is very similar. Stomps, crushing charge, death grip. He has an ability called Get Orf me land. Kraken Eater Mega Gargants hate intruders and trespassers and do not take kindly to people who decide to fight battles on their land. In your hero phase, if you have any models with this ability within an inch of an objective that you control, you can pick up one of those models. Wait, you have any models with this ability within one objective? Oh, dude, you can say that it's going to kick the objective? If you do, you can move the objective up to 2d6 to a new position anywhere on the battlefield, more than one way from any model, terrain feature, or other objective. An objective that cannot be kicked away more than once in the same phase. Imagine two dudes just playing soccer. Oh. Okay, that alone seems pretty cool. I'm going to walk up to the midfield objective and just scoot it back into my deployment zone. Yeah, get off my lawn. Lawn. He can pick up a dude and stuff him in a net. And then the War Stomper. I didn't miss a bit, did I? No, we're doing this right. And the amount of planning to paint one of these really well will be a lot. It would be a shame if all that stuff I talked about, a $200 investment actually being worth the $200 in time, came true and I wasn't just talking out of my butt. Such a shame. And I do worry that maybe it'll turn into the same thing with knights, but these guys have more personality than a giant robot. I know there's a pilot inside. Or is there? 122. Oof. What's that gonna look like? Just a chunk of flesh. There's a lot of chunks of flesh on these sprues. But I think it's going to be on this one. Yeah. And it's not just a chunk of flesh, it's a bunch of cloth. He's got a compass. No, that's a clock. He's got a clock on him. He took someone's pocket watch and strapped it to his back. It's a big pocket watch. Little bird skull, little stein. I guess he did crunk up a tavern. Okay, the Mega Gargant War Stomper. That is the one with the huge horn. Death Grip. He has jump up and down instead of stomp. But it looks like it's pretty much the same profile as stomp. 2, 3, 3, 2. It's twice as many attacks. And Titanic Boulder Club has 4 attacks. That doesn't seem that good at all. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, -2, 2 damage. You can reroll 1s for jump up and down. He has the charge. Crushing Grip. Hurled Body. Once per combat phase, you can pick an enemy model within 3. Oh, it's the guy I was talking about. If the dice is equal to or greater than the wounds characteristic. Wait, what? If the roll is at least double, it's slaying, and then on a 4-up, you pick up an enemy unit within 12 of this model visible to it. That unit suffers mortal wounds equal to the wounds of the slain model. Okay. Okay, Titanic Boulder Club actually has special rules. Okay, so here is... Well, I thought... I was going to say it's a piece that doesn't want to fit quite together, but it might actually be fitting together. No, it's not. You can see from the inside that it's not quite snug. There it is. It just takes a little bit of effort to push it in. Push it in. Boop. So I will hold this to dry while I look at the special rule for Titanic Boulder Club. The attack characteristic of Titanic Boulder Club is equal to the number of enemy models within 3 of the attacking model. Add the Titanic Boulder Club's value on the attacking model's damage table to the total. So he's got 4 attacks base, and then another attack for everyone within 3. Oh, good God. Oh, if you walked up on an ironclad with 20 dudes in it, how many attacks would he have? Huh. Add 4 to the total attacks for each monster within 3. If the modified attacks characteristic of the Boulder Club is less than 1, count as being 1. Ah, if the Titanic Boulder Club's more than 10, counted as being 10. So if you walk up and you fight 2 ironclads, each with 20 dudes inside, it's still only 10 attacks. And here's where this huge body gets a seemingly tiny head. Oh, this has been fun. So the absurdity of the rules, I don't know if it was like coming down from a high, but this dude is my favorite with the ridiculousness of his attacks. Kraken one with kicking an objective, and then the War Stompa is the, I guess, least favorite on First Impulse. But this is a beautiful mini. It's fantastic. It's huge. Wow. And now I want to play this army. So, now that we're done, let's take a look real quick at what's left over. I've got the feet that I screwed up in the beginning with. This is what's left of that sprue with these additional feet. Some arm wraps, some legs, you know, nothing really cool here at all. Some chunks. I have this one. Bunch of shields. This is definitely the Kraken one. Here's the club for the War Stompa. Pretty nice. Some neat stuff. The hands, those are cool. The shields, the chunks of bits, the little bird. Keeping that bird. And then, whew, this little one. Huge net, tentacle, arrows, the rest of that club. And bam, look at all that stuff. The whole bag, part of a boat, head, jaw, so much on this. Oh, look at that. The cannons. What do you think about this proposal for this kit? If they had gone the Knight Valiant route, and instead of saying 3 models, 3 potential builds, and all of this excess leftover in one for $195, if they had designed it to be, here is your Gate Crusher, $150, it only comes with these bits. Now, I think that would be a bit more appealing, but thinking about it out loud as I say it, I don't think Games Workshop does dumb stuff like this as an accident, and I wouldn't be surprised if they found out it was just cheaper in the long haul to do it like this. That would be, looking at this, you'd get away with this, and you'd probably end up with 2 sprues, maybe 2.5. So you get this whole guy. And that's just this mini. I don't know what it's like for the other 2. But then you need 2 more boxes, 2 more sets of instructions. And honestly, oh hey, no, you can totally, it's got a spot right here. Put the birds somewhere, put the arrows somewhere. Hey, printing these, working in IT, that color's gold, baby. I know it's not toner. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm sorry it's been like 35 days. This guy's really, really cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next build video. Good night.